Hello my friend, and welcome. This video is going to be about pain and how to deal with pain. It's something that everybody has. Everyone who has a body is going to experience pain at some point in their life. And some people experience chronic pain, pain that doesn't go away. So it's very important to learn how to deal with pain. And this is a way of doing it that I've learned over the years that is very effective if you do it. It's a practice. Part of the reason that I'm doing this, the main incentive, is because my son is in India and he had an accident and had hip surgery. So he's now feeling pain all the time, chronic pain, for a while anyways. And so I wanted to give him this practice. I told him about it, but I think having this in a video will give him more access to it because it is a practice. You have to keep doing it, but it's an amazing practice. The first way that I kind of came upon this, discovered this, was I have a good friend who's a Dharma teacher, a Zen Dharma teacher in Rhode Island. And the first time I met her, she was giving a Dharma talk. And usually she talked about her life because she had a kind of an amazing experience that really fit into the Dharma and was interesting to people. She was in an accident and hit by a bus and almost died. She was in a coma for many months. And when she came out of the coma, she lived, and when she came out of the coma, she had lost all her short-term and long-term memory, both short-term and long-term memory. And because of the damage to her nerves, to her central nervous system and her spine, she was in chronic pain all the time. And as she was giving this Dharma talk, her memory had come back at that time, and she talked about how this had happened. One of the things that happened is losing your short-term and long-term memory means you have to be present all the time, because that's all there is. She couldn't read a book because by the time she got to the period at the end of the sentence, she'd forgotten every word that came before. She didn't have a memory of any word that came before, so she couldn't read. She couldn't have a conversation because the last word somebody said, she'd forgotten all the words that came before, so nothing made any sense to her. So all she could do was be present. And this really helped her when her memory came back. She had learned to be present, that this was her go-to life, that this was her home, and she knew how to be present, which is a wonderful experience. What a benefit, because most of us don't know how to do this. So as she was doing, after the Dharma talk, I went up to her, and because she was so happy, just filled with joy, just overflowing with joy, I asked her, when did the chronic pain go away? And she said, oh, that never went away. It can't go away because there's damage to my central nervous system. Doctors can't do anything about this. There's nothing you can really do about it. So that pain, that chronic pain, is there all the time, but my attitude about it is completely different. And that's, I didn't ask her what that meant or how. I had no idea. But I knew it was true because her approach to life and her experience of life was so incredibly joyful. And if somebody was being oppressed by chronic pain and feeling a victim of chronic pain, they wouldn't act like that. They wouldn't feel like that. They wouldn't be so filled with joy all the time. And she is. So that sort of gave me the beginning kind of clue to this. And then over the years, as I started healing people, working with people as a healer, I worked with many people that had chronic pain, fibromyalgia, and sometimes short-term, like a migraine headache. And I found that this technique, which I just discovered by working with them, they helped me as much as it came from me. It just sort of came through me. Helped them so much. It helped change their attitude to their pain. And if you have chronic pain, that's really all you can do, is change your approach to it completely so that you can live a happy, fulfilling, joyful life, even in the midst of chronic pain. So that's what this practice is about, is how to do this. Now, whether you have chronic pain or not, it doesn't matter, because the body is always going to experience pain at some point. It needs to. If you're not in pain right now, at some point you will be. So this practice is useful for everybody, especially useful if you have chronic pain, because you have a lot of time to practice with it. because the pain doesn't go away. It's not like short-term pain. I was giving a satsang, I don't know, a few years ago. And I think there were about maybe a dozen people there. And one of the people was somebody who had come to me many times individually, privately, and also attended all the satsangs. He did this for a number of years and was a very good, well, you could call it a student. I don't really call it that, but he worked with me a lot. And at this time when he came in, he was on crutches and his leg was badly damaged. It wasn't broken, but something had happened to the shin, and you could see the bone right through the skin. And it was a very bad damage that had just happened that same day. And at the time, I was doing this guided self-inquiry with individual people during the satsang. So the group would see how this was working with an individual person if they volunteered to it and they were open to doing this in public in front of other people and not privately. And he'd done this many times. So as he sat down, I asked him, as I always would start off, is what are you experiencing now in this moment to get started? What are you experiencing now? And he said, excruciating pain. So I said, would you like to work on that? Usually we do self-inquiry in a different way, but he had this pain, so that's something we can work on. I had never done this in front of other people before, only one-on-one. But I thought, okay, let's do this with other people if he's willing to do it. And he was. He said, please, and work on this pain with me. So I asked him what the experience of pain was from 1 to 10. It's a common thing that doctors would often ask. And he said 15. It was just extreme pain. So this was a perfect opportunity to work on this because it was, in this moment, it was very extreme, very painful. So the first thing that I did is ask him, is it necessary to use this word pain? And this is part of what this practice is. Because pain, we have a lot of resistance to the word pain. It's entirely negative. There's no positive feeling in our conditioned idea of what pain is. It's just negative. When we're little children, if something hurts, it's like, how can I make it better? How can I take the pain away? And this is what we want. We want a pill or something that will take the pain away, that will reduce the pain or distract us from the pain. And this approach is not like that. It's a practice that goes exactly the opposite way. We want to understand this, and we want to embrace it and stop resisting it. So to stop resisting it, the first thing we do is we let go of this thought of pain. And because Miguel had been working with me for years, he was able to do this very quickly. So I said, can you let go of the word pain? And he did. And so as he let go of the word pain, I said, what's the sensation now? And he said, about 50% of what it was, right away. Just by letting go of this word pain and letting go of this resistance, the pain is 50% less immediately. No drugs, no nothing. And this happened within a few minutes. And the people watching around were kind of amazed that this happened, so quickly, because he was in such pain before. And clearly he wasn't now. He was relaxed. He did have his foot up on a chair, his leg up on a chair, not down. So there was no reason for the pain. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. There was no reason for the pain, but the idea of pain and the concept of pain was making it just as extreme as it was before. So by letting go of that word pain, that the feeling, the sensation was reduced greatly, 50%, as he said. And now we're dealing with just a sensation. Not good, not bad, just curious. It's a sensation. Clearly there's a sensation in his leg, this sensation, but we're not calling it pain anymore. So we no longer have resistance to it. Now we're feeling a curiosity about it. What is this feeling? What is this sensation? What's going on now? And so we, feel different kinds of sensations, and he describes these sensations to me. And as he describes the sensations, it starts becoming more diffuse and less sharp. And eventually, and this only took 5 minutes with him, it was amazingly quick. Usually it takes a bit longer than that, much longer usually. He experienced it just as pure energy. The word sensation also left. I asked him if he could let go of that. And when you let go of that, there's just energy. There's the energy of life. There's the energy of being alive. It's a very positive feeling. So at that point, he wasn't feeling any pain at all. So he was zero pain. So he went from 15 to 0 in about 5 minutes because he was able to let go of these words. And I'll teach you this practice. It's going to take longer if you've never done this before. But if you practice with it, you can do this very quickly and notice the changes. It's all experiential. So you practice and then see what happens with you. And he asked me, he said, well, does this mean I have no more pain? And I said, no. As soon as you put any weight on that foot, that 15 pain is going to come right back because it needs to. It's telling you don't put any weight on that leg right now until it heals. Don't put any weight on it. That's why we need pain. To avoid having further injury, we need pain. But we don't have to hold on to it when we no longer need it. Yes, if there's nerve damage, in the case of the Dharma teacher, there's going to be chronic pain because of that. But when we change our attitude to it, it changes. It changes so much that it doesn't interfere with your life anymore. No matter how bad it is, no matter how serious it is, it doesn't interfere with your life anymore. So this is the practice. If you're feeling pain right at this moment, and I know you are. So as you watch this, can you let go of the word pain? It only has negative connotations. You can use it with a doctor and other people, but right now, in this moment, as you're feeling this pain right now, can you let go of this word, pain, of this thought, pain? Can you just let go of it in this moment? It's not serving you. It's not helping you. And you're resisting it. You're resisting this, and you're not going to feel relief from this until you stop resisting it, until you embrace it. And as long as you have the word pain, you're not going to be able to do that. So can you let go of this word, pain, of this thought, pain, of this concept of pain, and everything that goes along with it? Can you let go of this word? You won't lose it forever. It's not like erasing your memory. But right now, can you let go of it? Can you let this just be a sensation? Not bad, not good, not even neutral. Just a sensation. Something you're experiencing. And you don't know what it is. It's just a sensation. Maybe strong, maybe not. Notice what it's doing. Is it throbbing, tingling, sharp, dull? Notice how this changes. If you don't hold on to some concept about it, if you don't hold on to any idea about it, notice how the sensation is changing. The experience is changing. Let it change. Allow it to move. Allow life to flow. Use this sensation to focus your attention, to be very present with every different change, every different sensation that happens. Be curious. What is it? You don't know. You don't know, really. The idea you had of pain before is just an idea. You don't know what this sensation is. Explore it in this way. Be curious. Be open. Stop resisting it so you can really deeply experience what it is. As you notice the sensations, the different sensations changing, flowing, deeply focus on them. You'll learn a great deal. You'll learn how to be free of suffering. As you can feel these changing sensations, notice how they seem to become more diffuse and move. If the pain is in the hip, notice how the sensation moves to other parts of the body. Strange. If it's in the leg, notice how it moves to the arm or the hand or the foot or the other leg. This is a living energy. It's an aliveness. Your whole body is like this. Your attention was just on one place where the sensation was intense. And now it's moving throughout your whole body. This energy of aliveness, this energy of being alive. And that feels quite wonderful, blissful. This is a practice. It doesn't happen immediately. During the time I'm speaking to you, you may not have been able to move from the word pain yet to sensation, and that's okay. You can work with this. You can use this video if you need to over and over again until you can do this on your own. It's a practice. I practiced this myself for many years. 4 times a year I go to the dentist. It's a wonderful time to practice. I'm sitting in a chair for an hour. What else is there to do? So I practice this without Novocaine. I can use this practice to change my attitude to pain, to change my experience of pain, to not resist it. As the word pain automatically makes us do. To find it as a sensation, a curious sensation, with no resistance to it. And to feel it as an energy. When you have an immediate, very sharp pain, as, one tooth that they're working on in a dentist, it's not going to become diffuse as energy right away. It takes more time for that to happen. But you can quickly change that to sensation. You can leave off pain right away when you have the practice of doing that. And then you notice in curiosity these intense sensations, how they move and the different feelings of them. It becomes fascinating. And then the next tooth that's worked on, or hitting a nerve, all of a sudden, the knee-jerk reaction of pain comes back, and then you let go again. You just keep going through this process over and over again. Pain, sensation, over and over again. And after a while, you become really good at it. You no longer really know what pain is. You so quickly go into sensation. And if you have a longer term pain, like a migraine headache or something, you bring that into energy. Or if you have chronic pain, it gives you the opportunity to bring it into energy because the pain can stay for a long time, so you have plenty of time to practice with it. As an advantage, having pain is a wonderful way to become present. Mostly we live in the past or the future and not really in this moment. But pain is a doorway into this present moment. Because when is it? When are you experiencing it? Right now. Right now. And if you let go of the word pain that's making you resist it, you can open to this present moment with curiosity and fascination. Because we never know what the present moment is. It's beyond all concepts. And this practice of working with pain can help us experience that. It's much more than simply finding relief from pain, which we can also find through this, but it's much more than that. And if you have chronic pain, if you're suffering from pain all the time, why not do this? Why not try this? And if you do, let me know how it goes. Keep doing it. It might take a few days, a week, 3 weeks, a month. You have your whole life to learn to practice with this. I hope you do. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, Noah.